So we've seen a pump of just under 30% on XLM, and this is following this local bottom that took place on the 3rd of August. And I mentioned in the previous update that I was tracking a WXY structure, and the Y wave had the potential to tap into this region, and that region sits between 33.29 cents to 35.41 cents. And yeah, here you can see that we ended up just about falling short of this region. And so despite the Y wave falling short of this region, this Y wave is still valid, given the fact that we still met the minimum requirement, which is the 61.8% retracement level. And so it looks like the WXY structure ended up playing out. And what I'm looking at for right now is for the WXY structure to form the wave 4. And then we can begin to track the wave 5, where I'm looking at for the wave 5 to tap into this region between 55.32 cents to 61.2 cents. And if I go into the daily chart, what you can also see is we ended up finding support at the 50 EMA, which is obviously a good sign. And then we saw that reversal to the upside, where we then breached past the wave X, and that level sits at 45.98 cents, which is another good sign. And so, yeah, I am looking out for that continuation to the upside, where we see a final push within this region, and then we see a bigger retracement at some point. And so for this 5-wave to play out, what we need is for a 5-wave structure to form. So if I remove this and I'll go down to the 4-hour chart, and if I bring in the Fib tool and bring this to 38.5 cents. And so what we need is for XLM to retrace towards this level here at 50 cents in order to trigger a 5-wave structure, where this move to the upside was a wave 1, this would be a wave 2, and then the wave 3 as a minimum requirement would have to reach this level here. And then we see a wave 4 and a wave 5 play out, where we can then tap into this region. And here we've seen a impulsive move that's played out also. And so it's possible that we are still within this move to the upside. And if worst case scenario, we get rejected within this region between 1 to 1.226, that would then mean that we had a WXY structure that formed, and we could see a deeper move to the downside, where we could breach past this level here at 36.13 cents. But I am looking out for that continuation to the upside, where we could then potentially trigger a 5-wave structure, where this wave 3 would reach this level here at 1.618. And so if I drop down to the 5-minute chart, what I'll do is check to see what's taken place within this recent move to the upside. And so what I am looking out for is for this move here to be the wave 1, and this move here to be the wave 2, and then we see a wave 3, 4, and 5 to complete that 3rd wave. So if I very quickly go in the hourly chart, it's possible that what we had forming was a leading diagonal within this move here. And so if I bring in the upper trend line and the lower trend line like so. So what I'm looking at for right now is for a 5-wave structure to form the leading diagonal, like so. And this 5-wave structure will then form the wave 1. Like so, and then this is the wave 2. And we can see a wave 3, 4, and 5 like so. And so this wave 3 would need to reach the 1.618 level. And so if I bring in the Fib tool and bring this to 40.26 cents. And so if I just very quickly remove this, here you can see that we ended up exceeding the 1.618 level, which is a good sign. And so yeah, it's possible that we ended up completing the 3rd wave, and then we had this corrective move to the downside to form wave 4, and we could see a final push to the upside to complete this 5th wave, where this 5th wave has the potential to reach anywhere between 1.236 to 1.618 of the wave 4. So if I bring in the Fib tool and bring these two over here, so XLM could potentially reach this region here between 47.59 cents to 48.76 cents in the short term. And that will then complete this 5th wave, which in turn will then complete the 3rd wave. And then in the days to come, we'll then see the wave 4 and 5 play out like so. And so at the same time, it is possible that we are still within this 3rd wave, and then we see the wave 4 and 5 play out to complete this bigger third wave, whilst at the same time it's possible that we have a WXY structure that's forming to complete the fourth wave, and so we could go slightly deeper, where if I draw that out, essentially we could have something like this in play to complete this fourth wave. And so what I'll do is drop down to the 5-minute chart just to make sure that this move here is a 5-wave move. So if I zoom in, and yeah, so it looks like we had a 5-wave move that played out, where this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so because this move is made up of 5 waves, that means that we are on an uptrend. And so the likelihood of us actually breaching past this level here is unlikely at this stage. And so it's possible that this 5-wave structure formed the wave 1. Like so, and then we had this correct move to the downside, where this here is the low. And then we can see the wave 3, 4, and 5 play out, where this 5-wave structure will then form this 5th wave here, which in turn will then form this 3rd wave. And so short-term target for XLM would be the 1.618 level to complete this 3rd wave. So if I bring in the Fib tool and bring this to over here at 44.65 cents. And so what we need is for XLM to reach this level here. And that level sits at 47.51 cents. So yeah, the 3rd wave as a minimum requirement would need to reach this level. And then we see the wave 4 and 5 play out to complete this 5th wave, where that 5th wave taps into this region also. And that would then complete the 3rd wave. And so yeah, as it stands, XLM is still looking bullish. Looking at the stochastic RSI, the bears currently have the momentum, and so at some point I'm looking at for the bulls to regain control of the market. And if I go in for our chart, the same can be said. The bears currently have the control or the momentum, and I will be looking out for that reversal where the bulls can then regain control of the market. And if I go in a daily chart, the bulls still have the momentum, but we are on the brink of reaching the overbought conditions. And so what I'm looking out for is for that final push to the upside, where this 5th wave taps into this region, which could play out in the next few days or the next couple of weeks. Only time will tell, really. And shortly after, we'll be looking out for that bigger retracement to the downside. And of course, that's something I'm going to be tracking in the days to come, and I'll keep you guys updated. And so, yeah, that's a smart update on XLM. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit the like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.